Hey, what's up, folks? This is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. Before we get into today's video, a couple of items came to my attention from my last video that I posted on Storm X that I think I need to discuss. So really quick, before we get into our video on reserve today, number one item that came up was somebody had brought up that I didn't discuss staking on Storm X, and you're absolutely right. It was in the outline, glossed right over it, never even talked about it. So I wanted to bring it up that these staking rewards on Storm X are 17.5%. So you're not just getting a 20% off at Walmart if you made it all the way to the diamond level rewards, but you are also getting 17.5% return in staking, which is absolutely massive and is also why a vast majority of the token is currently staked. So that's item number one. Item number two was somebody left me in the comments, one of my viewers from the UK, where I stated that Walmart is everywhere. They said, actually, Jesse, it's not everywhere. It's not in the UK. And so I looked it up. Sure enough, you're 100% right. But Walmart owns Asda, which is apparently one of the largest supermarkets in the UK. So they're not there directly, but they are there indirectly, all right? So anyways, just had to get that out, okay? So thanks for keeping me honest in the comments. Please continue to do so. And please continue to ignore the fake me in the comments that wants you to go to some random WhatsApp number. That's not me, all right? Now, for today's video on reserve. So this video will be a 2021 review and price prediction, primarily for reserve or RSR. I'm going to be talking about there's two coins in this project, a stable coin, RSV, as well as RSR, the other coin. I'm going to tell you how these work, what the idea is behind it, and what it's got going for it. So a lot of interesting things here with reserve. This one is by request also, so if you got some more requests out there, please let me know. All right? So, as always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post content just like this. Now, let's get it going. So as I mentioned in the intro on the reserve project, there are two coins here. One is the stable coin, the other coin is the coin that stabilizes the stable coin, all right? So, reserve is an asset-backed stable cryptocurrency and digital payment system with the goal of creating a universal store of value, particularly in countries with unreliable banking infrastructure and hyperinflation. We're going to be talking about the hyperinflation later in the video, so stick around for that, all right? So the way I see it is they're basically offering a low-risk, stable banking option in regions that don't currently have that or that are facing issues, and this is a hedge against those issues, right? So as I mentioned, there are two coins. The first coin is the reserve token, or RSV. This is the stable coin, which is the one that you would spend as a currency in these countries, okay? The reserve rights token, or RSR, is the protocol token, which is used to stabilize RSV. Now, what's interesting is that over time, the plan is to move the stablecoin off of the US dollar and eventually create an alternative reserve asset where RSV tokens will instead represent fractional ownership of the collateral pool, all right? So, when the price of the stablecoin exceeds $1, the protocol sells the excess or newly minted RSV for either tokenized assets or RSR. When the price of RSV falls below $1, the protocol purchases RSV for tokenized assets. So it basically runs in a loop to stabilize the coin, okay? Now, maintaining the vault, this is where RSR comes in. So when the vault has excess RSV, RSR holders can purchase that excess with their RSR, which maintains the vault's ratio and reduces the supply of RSR, or as I see it, increases the value. Now, when the vault's ratio goes below the targeted range, the protocol sells RSR for tokenized assets, replenishing the backing for RSV. So, At its simplest, RSV is the stablecoin, while RSR is used to stabilize RSV. Now, there are multiple backers of this project, but there's two of them that kind of stand out to me. One is Coinbase Ventures, which obviously is a pretty big deal, even though Reserve is not listed on Coinbase currently. And the other is Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal. There are quite a few actual ties in the backers to PayPal, and we'll discuss that a little bit later on. All right. Outside of them, there are actually multiple individuals as well as different venture capital firms, hedge funds, etc., that are backing this one. So it's got a lot of people behind it. Now, the founders of Reserve are Nevin Freeman and Matt Elder. So let's talk token, specifically the Reserve Rights Token, or RSR. So as of this recording, 3/22 of 2021, RSR was ranked number 74 in the top 100 with a market cap of 1.2 billion, trading at 0.09 cents. Circulating supply of RSR is 13.1 billion out of a maximum total supply of 100 billion tokens. So the circulating supply is significantly less than the total supply. Now, if we insert the chart here, you can see, first of all, that RSR launched in May of 2019, and it didn't really start moving until 2020 when it increased from 0.001362 to 0.01971 by December 31st, or roughly a 14.47x for the year. So that was a good year. Now, thus far in 2021, RSR has increased from 0.022887 to today, where it's at 0.09184, or roughly a 4x. Now, if RSR followed the same rate of growth for the remainder of 2021 from today on, it would 18.07x. Now, something that I want to explain that I'm not sure everyone fully understands, and this comes up time to time in these videos when I do these price predictions, is that market cap is calculated by, multiplying the circulating supply by the price. That's how it happens. So the reason I bring that up is that if RSR followed the same rate of growth, market cap may not necessarily follow the exact same rate of growth as they steadily over time release more and more tokens, right? If you look at another chart here, you can see the price has increased roughly with the volume spikes. So you can see here the spikes in the volume. That's kind of where it's sort of peaked and then gone down and then peaked and gone down, right? Now, if we insert a third chart here from tradingview.com, you can see the momentum is still chugging along at the moment. As I stated in my video on StormX, I'm going to be doing a future video, probably this week, where I'm going to be talking about the MACD and momentum. And right now, RSR still has momentum running for it, all right? So let's talk price prediction. So, over the long term, I see RSR continuing to rise in value. Now, I did find an article on Cointelegraph that discussed a few of the reasons for the recent jump in price, and some of those include the following. So first of all, on January 4th, the U.S. Treasury's Office of the Comptroller of the Currency announced that banks would be able to run independent nodes for distributed ledger networks and transact in stablecoins. So that's really good for the stablecoin market, which the article actually referenced that the NFT hype kind of overshadowed all of this with stablecoins. And I think a lot of people who invest in crypto really don't get the stablecoin part. But there's definitely some big benefits there, which I'll probably do some future videos on, but haven't really touched that yet. Now, secondly, it's also getting a real-world use case for a hedge and store of value in countries where hyperinflation is happening right now, including Venezuela, Argentina, Colombia, and Panama. Now, from the rumor mill, Nevin Freeman has actually stated that the Reserve mainnet will launch in 2021. They don't have a date. There's no date listed on coinmarketcal.com. But that's a rumor, okay? The second rumor with this project is because there are multiple ties, and a few of these backers, Peter Thiel in particular, to PayPal, is that there might be a PayPal integration with RSR at some point. And I think that would actually make a ton of sense. So that could be on the horizon, all right? Now, I don't really see why RSR wouldn't follow the same rate of growth from the prior year, if not accelerate as it enters even more markets, right? The tricky thing, though, that I see is kind of how hard is it for it to enter these various markets? And depending on the country, they're all different, right? So here's where the verdict lies. I think this one could live up to the hype, all right? I like the idea behind it. I like the stablecoin. I like that they have two coins in this project. It makes a lot of sense. We showed the chart. You can see kind of how they work together. I get it, right? And it has an excellent use case that has been actually put to the test recently in some of those countries that I mentioned, Venezuela, Argentina, Colombia, Panama, etc., where hyperinflation is an issue. And will hyperinflation be an issue all the time everywhere? Probably not, but are there going to be countries around the world where this will continuously occur? Yeah, there will. So I think it's got an excellent use case for that. So, price prediction. My price prediction for RSR for the remainder of this year is to roughly 11 to 14x. Now, because it's already done a 4x and it did 14.5 last year, I figure what better place to start than exactly what it did last year. I think it can at least do that, if not better. So that's where I'm getting my numbers from. Now, where you can find RSR includes the following. We have Binance, Poloniex, OKX. It appears, found it in Trust Wallet where you can trade for it. I think Uniswap, amongst others, you can find it there. You can also try and look on various other platforms. And I did want to throw it out there to the comments section. Where are you guys finding RSR? Post it in the comments, especially if you're in the US. This one's a little trickier in the US. The main easy-to-use exchanges don't have it. And so you got to kind of get this one another way. So I wanted to ask to the viewers out there, if you could go ahead and post that in the comments, that'd be absolutely awesome for anybody who's looking to pick up some RSR. Obviously, if you're around the world, it's significantly easier. So, the trend continues that things are difficult here unnecessarily, right? So, I did want to also mention that I think it's important to say that as RSR is added to additional platforms, that could also increase the value here. So, great coin. I like the two-coin approach. It seems like the team has grown on this one. Apparently, it started with the two founders, and it's a full-on team that works on this project now. And so they've got some serious backing. They've got a great use case. There's a lot of really good things going on here with RSR. And like the article mentioned, maybe it's kind of floated under the radar underneath the hype of all of the NFT talk lately, right? So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. As always, don't forget to find me on Twitter, where I am tweeting and retweeting on a regular basis. And for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. And I will see you on the next one. Later.